Won't be doing any creek walking today, but hopefully here in a little bit I'll take you to a spot that I sometimes dig at. It's from around the 1880s, 1890s. Find a lot of beers and stuff like that, but there was a railroad there, as well as a couple of other factories. But yeah, hopefully here in a little bit we can add to this. So the spot I'm at now, this is the one I mentioned earlier in the video. As you can hear from the noise, I'm pretty close to a large intersection, large road. But there's tons of stuff in this area. Most of it that I found has been pulverized, but I've been able to pull about 3 full bottles out so far. But I mean, there's tons of stuff that gives me hope. Like this right here. Look at this old piece of crockery. That's beautiful. And there's old glass. Look at this right here. I may actually take these pieces back with me today, but hopefully I can maybe live pull something here in a minute. I'm gonna poke around and see what I can find and maybe get back to you in a second. So I want to show you some more of these crockery pieces. It's a shame it's all busted, but I want to show you how low this is. That's a good probably a good 4 foot down, where they've just piled layers on top of layers. And it's busted, so I highly doubt I'll find anything solid, but I did want to show you this piece. It's got some stamping on it. I can make out the two, but I can't make out any of the wording, if there is wording. But I'm definitely going to take that piece home with me, because that's really nice. That's probably a really old piece right there. If I can get down to it without falling in the creek, there's a bottle, the base of a bottle, and a broken top right here. I'm gonna try to live pull, but just bear with me, because this is a pretty steep bank and I don't have a lot of room to work with, so I might end up falling in at some point in this video. No. Wait a minute, it might be there. Oh man. Let's see. It doesn't look like it has any identifying marks, but it's an old aqua color. And I know most of the other stuff I find in here, like I mentioned earlier in the video, it's from the late 1800s to early 1900s. So if I had to guess, it's probably an old unembossed beer. But you know, I'm pretty happy with it. Anything that old, I like taking back with me. So let me keep looking around here, and I might try to find something else so we can live pull at some point. But yeah, that's pretty nice. I've got something else here. Once again, it's broken. Almost everything here is broken, but I still like finding these old pieces. And that's extremely hard to read. I can make out Hamburg right there on the bottom, and the top either says Bremen, I think it's Bremen and Hamburg, and you can tell by that old olive green glass. That's another late 1800s piece right there. That's pretty. Shame it ain't a whole piece though, but you never know. With all this glass that's in here, we might find a whole piece. And let me turn around here real quick, and I'll show you what else I'm looking at and why I'm so hopeful, even though it's all broken. Just look at all this old glass right here in the ground around me. You know, besides the pottery pieces I've shown you, and those pieces I just pulled out right there at the edge of the creek bank, there's a lot to be hopeful for in this area. See, like that old med top. But let me hop off here, and I'm gonna look for some more stuff, and if anything else cool, I'll jump back on. I'm now on a spot where I can do a little bit of digging, and I'm finding a lot of shards of glass. Let me wipe that off real quick, see if there's anything on it. That's just a slick piece, but over here you can see some of the chunks I found. Like, look at that top right there, how pretty. That pretty olive green. But where's that? So that looked like it had a circle slug almost at one time, and over here it's very faint, but it's saying this bottle is not to be sold. And I have another chunk right here that says essentially the same thing. This bottle never to be sold. So let's dig for a second and see if we can pull anything out. Right there we already pulled out what looks to be the top of an old beer, probably busted up, of course, but there's tons of old glass up in here. I see a base or something right there, but yeah, it's broken. But let me dig a little bit more and see if I find anything that seems whole, and I'll get back to you. So I finally have one showing, and I can tell the top is broken, and more than likely I'm thinking this is probably going to be an unembossed beer, because that's what this place is heavy with. But I figured I'd try to give you something a little bit more action, and there we go. Yeah, the whole top is broken off, and let me look right here. Give me just a second to wipe that off. It's an AB beer, and I think from other videos I've watched, these are pretty common. But you know, I'm thinking about taking these back. I don't know how to add tops onto them, solder tops on yet, but I might cut these into like a drinking glass. But I find tons of bottle tops out here too. Like you can see all this broken glass I've dug out just getting to this bottle right here. But I'm gonna keep digging a little bit more and see if we can find anything whole for you. We got another one showing with a sheared off top, just like the other one. It's probably one of the same thing, but I figured it doesn't take me too much longer to dig it. We could try to live dig it here and see just what we have. This is a real crunchy layer, so that's why I'm wearing gloves and not sticking my hand up in there too much, because I don't want to break any more glass than it's already broken. Yep, another one of those AB beers. Third time's the charm. I can't tell if it's gonna be like the others, or it's just sheared off of the top again. I'm telling you, this dump right here, there's loads and loads of glass, as you can see, but it's next to impossible to find anything whole. But you just never know. That's why I do it. I come out here and dig and hope that I find a whole one. I've done it a few times, so that keeps me going. And there looks like a sheared top to another one. You can see the crowns is sheared off, but I don't know. Usually the ones like that end up being like this. I start on them thinking it might be a whole bottle, but they generally never are. And I'm almost starting to wonder if the manufacturer of these back in the day, when they closed down, they just didn't break all of them. That way they couldn't be used again. That's my best guess. Second best guess is there's actually a parking lot not too far above me here, and maybe in the process of creating that and impacting the soil, it busted them up. But let's see if we can go ahead and get this out. Sorry for rambling on there. It seems like it's getting loose, and I will put my glove on real quick and see if I can wiggle it out. Well, let's go ahead and try to wiggle it out with the other glove. Okay, yep, just like the other two. And this one is unembossed on the bottom, so it's just a plain old slit. Nothing to tell me what it is, but it might match that one from earlier. So here's the three that I got so far. And I'm gonna dig at this other one for a moment and see if it's more than just a top, and I'll get back to you. Let's see if we can get the camera in focus. We're back again. I finally got this bottle where I think I can wiggle it out without doing any damage to it. At least I thought so. There we go. That's the most complete bottle of the day. Let's see if it has anything on the bottom. It has RG & Co., which from my understanding is Root Glassing Company, and I believe that's one of their older embossings. I know they switched it to Root Glass, and ooh, it's embossed on the front. Let's see, give me a second to wipe this off. This looks like it's gonna be pretty. Oh wow, that's beautiful embossing. Look at that in the center. I hate that the crown is barely broken, but you can't be mad about finding something like this. It says Indianapolis Brewing Company, Indianapolis, Indiana. Man, I'm happy with that one. Let me cover this up with dirt, because after being under the ground for so many years, if you take it out and expose it to a different air pressure, a lot of times these will get those bruises on them. Any bottle for that fact. So let me go ahead and cover this up, but that is a beautiful find. I hope to get this cleaned up and show it at the end of the video. There it is, our best find of the day. I got it cleaned up a little bit, and I got a little ways to go, but you can see the detail on this regardless. It is amazing. I wasn't aware that they could emboss bottles with such a detail that long ago, but it's a beautiful bottle and it'll look great in my collection. I'm hoping I can get back out there again, maybe even tomorrow, but soon for sure, see if I can find any more like it. But if you're liking the video and the quality of stuff that I'm finding to include this bottle, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down at the bottom if you would, and I'd appreciate it greatly, because sharing these bottles, especially ones like this right here with you, I enjoy it and I love finding them. So any support I can get, or anybody that wants to come back and watch my videos, I appreciate it greatly.